Hi everyone on YouTube. This is Na again, making another one of my live Come Alive YouTube stream. Um, I hope you guys all had a great day. Maybe you might not start that way, right? But if you strive enough, you will, end up having a good day. Like I did. And keep in mind for everybody, I don't know why I put all of my stuff under the desk so far away from me. Reach. I can't even reach it. Yes. I am reminding the importance with everybody to live a Zen life, a simple life. Alrighty, so my icebreaker. Some of the good things today is what you see on my head. Is this not the cutest hat, you guys? And if you're like me and you're trying to grow out your hair long versus long, you're going to be wearing a wig for a while or a hat. So since I'm the type of person, right, I'm not into anything, fake. I really believe in just, real beauty, natural. So yeah, I don't do wigs. I don't do hair extension. I don't do acrylic nails. None of that. No hair extension, no acrylic nails, no, no blown up boobs or butt. It's not me. I'm pretty sure there are reasons why people do that. I know what those reasons are. And, for educational purposes, usually if a girl has a big, booty, I heard that it makes them more, more profitable. Let's just put it that way. Same with boobs. That's nice and dandy, but as far as I think in terms of like actually winning over a partner in life, those things are not, those things don't have a leg to stand on, right? And if you guys want to see a very interesting show, because, being that my family in the medical field and I'm criminal justice and still undecided, at a certain point in my life, I did kind of like cosmetic surgery. And there's a difference between cosmetic and plastic. So Q&A, do you guys know the difference? So cosmetic, of course, is anything cosmetic. But plastic is more of, maybe it's not cosmetic, but involves a lot of plastic, right? Somebody's missing an ear, right? Something's missing a nose. Very interesting. The first face transplant was of a case in France where a lady, I think she fell asleep and When she woke up, she found out that the lower part of her face was bitten off by her dog. As to why her dog did that, I have no idea. I have no idea. And from what I read, they didn't really go into it. Like, was the dog violent, or was she like under the influence and the dog was trying to get her to wake up? I don't know. But her face, most of her face is missing, and that's not cosmetic. So, her case, hey, monkeys, don't make me spray you guys. So her face was the first introduction to face transplant. Because with that kind of injury, she was slowly losing her ability to talk, to eat, and to even breathe, right? So the doctors had to think quick on their feet. And usually, it's monkeys. It's usually like me when I go through my manic moments. They have a great aha moment, right? So, as challenging, as controversial as it is still, they thought, face transplant. Apparently, there was a death with a very similar face and compatibility to the victim. They did the surgery and it worked. And the controversy is that it's on the outside. It's the outside transplant versus the inside, where, let's say I have your organs, but you can't see it because it's inside of me. But it's a different story if I'm wearing your face, right? Oh, and by the way, I'm going to finish watching Leatherface because I want to reward myself for finishing a really good paper on alcohol. And I know, like, when you hear alcohol, right, everybody has different reactions. For me, I don't like alcohol because, of the alcohol-related abuse. But I said, what, I want to do my paper. It's actually a simple discussion, not even a full-blown research paper, to see what I am going to find out. So thanks, monkeys. You guys better calm down. I'll spray you. So think in terms of my paper on alcohol, and I will read it to you today, as archaeology, right? You know how archaeologists are out there dusting to see what they're going to find, right? Especially in the pyramids. Very interesting. But my opinion, the mummies and stuff put a lot of effort to be mummified and put in the pyramid. And so in my personal opinion, I don't feel it's right for people to go in there and just take all of it out, But that is a simple analogy, my alcohol paper and archaeology of the art of being smart. You're looking for coming up with that new knowledge and not just copying and pasting. And it's exciting. It's also exciting in the process, because something really beautiful happens in your brain. And specific to that is that your brain is not subjected just to DNA. All right? It can be better, right? Through what you eat. It can be better through exercise. It could be better through education, right? And on defense of mentally ill people, I'm starting to discover in my second psychology class that for people with mental disorder, especially the more severe kinds, right, like schizophrenia, education is very therapeutic. So the whole stereotype in the Michael Myers and how they should be burned or institutionalized, and I know there's a specific situation where that calls for, but it robs them of the opportunity to just have a normal life, to go to school, to go to work, and say that they can, have their American dream house, right? And a dog and a family just like everybody else. They might do it differently, but they're no different, right? So I had a really good day. I got this hat and I love it because all of my jackets are just basically black. And recently, being Christmas is coming up, I made an exception. I got some white, and I love this jacket, Goodwill, because I don't know, it just reminds me of snow, snow on the ground. So I got this beautiful hat, and I love it. Um, and I got it Echo Town for like $3. So as to why, well, I know why. I explained it as to why it's cheaper than other hats that I didn't take a liking to. Well, that is subjective, right? So I got this, and let me show you my other goodies. I got this beautiful hat, and I kind of, played hard to get to with Ecotown because they like to lowball people. And I got it with this beautiful hat. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? So it's gray, and it's very good. Very well made. And I love the ball and how it has a little tinge of brown to it. And for your information, Ecotown, if it's green tag, is $3, right? Even though it says 5. It's adorable. Okay. And yes, they are new. I love it. Just for just like if you're going to work, right? You have to stay in these colors, and I just love it. It's a type of hat like you can wear to go to sleep. The material, you see, how some hats they're really uncomfortable. I love it. Like this hat, you're probably gonna see me do a lot of live stream wearing it. So I got this, and the saying, what one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I sold, the reason why I was able to get it, because I sold some rings that I splurged on at TJ Maxx. And, one was like size 7, which is not really me. I'm 7.5, so I sold that out. And I sold some other rings that, they're 7.5. And like an expandable 8. And I just didn't, they're me, but I didn't really need it. I need this more. So a lot of it is just, like T-Mobile says after their T-Mobile hack is or their system, their 5G, it's prioritization. So if you guys don't know what that means, it means the 5G, right, that works in relationship to YouTube. Prioritization means like it's who gets to go first, and based on their data usage, and how like sometimes like for example, AT&T, right, or T-Mobile internet, they don't have it in my area. Why? Because other areas have priority. Why? Because I'm in the city and there's a lot of other, right, internet services and traffic. So therefore my area is not top priority, right? So I got this, and I got beautiful purse. I love it. It's kind of like that gold vintage hue. The reason why I like it is because some of my purses look kind of punky, and I wanted to, right, throw in a wallet where it kind of it wasn't so much punky but prairie, like country girl prairie. So I was joking around with some of the women at Echo Town, because I said, don't you want to buy this purse? I love it. I think it's adorable. Beautiful. $5 compared to the other ones. I love it. And she was all like, oh no, it's too boring for me. And I said, I like it. I love, right, American vintage, like plain white country prairie. Right? And one of the customers, she was joking around with me. She goes, yeah. She goes, you look quite boring. So I said, it's sold. I got it. So yes, a lot of my stuff is American vintage. You can see, kind of gold, like from a long time ago stuff. I love it. In Echo Town, they love my rings, all 10 of them. Because they gave me a pretty good deal today. Enough to get all these stuff, right? So in essence, it is kind of like bartering. If you guys know how monies got started, the Pilgrims and the Native Indians used to do that. You give me this, right? Native Indians, I want rifles, right? And the Pilgrims might say, well, give me some food, right? Some animal. So they bartered, and then after that, then they set up money. It's the same concept. We're just basically, here's the ring I don't want, and you can use it. The guy that works there, he's also a student at San College. And I think the reason why he gave me a good deal on the ring instead of lowballing, because he wanted one of them for his girlfriend. And I said, that's fine. As long as you give me my money worth. So love this, right? So, and see with what I have going, right? It turns like punky to prairie or tomboy, right? To very feminine. And God knows I need this right now because I have no hair. And I don't want people to mistake me for a boy, which I've had before, folks. I've had before. My mom said, like, when I was like in junior high, me and her went through the Vietnamese market, and I think some Vietnamese girls thought I was a boy. And, because I had really short hair, and, back then I didn't have any boobs. They literally thought I was a boy. And I think my mom thought it was funny because my mom has a very strange sense of humor. She thought it was funny because they thought I was a boy, and they were kind of flirting with me. And all I thought was, get me the hell out of this Vietnamese market. The noise, that, my mom, like, please, get me the hell out of here. You guys can call me the Asian racist. At least I'm honest, right? So I got that, and I got the hats, but I couldn't resist this. Right? California, Billabong. So I got this. I love it. Because you know what? Dressing office, like black and white suits and tie suitcase, it's just it's so stifling. And, that's why a lot of people, they just love the beach life, right? And, somebody like me, from the country, right? When my family came here from Texas, and we got introduced to Los Angeles because my aunt had some, her law firm was there, and she owned some all-you-can-eat buffet. It was really strange to see a bunch of people dressed up, right? Not like country, but suitcase and ties and just going to work. It was really strange. So I got this hat. I'll put this aside. And yes, I did. I did color my hair because I was getting a lot of white hair. But yes, I look forward to growing out my hair where I can wear barrettes and ponytails. Right? This is simple joy of being a girl. Look at this. I'm laughing because, like, the way I've been dressing, I look so freaking hillbilly. You can call me the hillbilly racist trying to be Californian. How's that? I bet you if I change my YouTube channel to that, I'm gonna get a lot. I'm gonna get a lot more subscribers. So yes, I got this. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Billabong with a little bit of California theme going with my collection of new bracelets. So of course, these aren't like real Italian, but they're really cute. And as you can see, I've got a little tag here. And I'm going to move it because I look ridiculous. I look like the lady wearing a hat with a price tag. But you know what? My personality, I like being ridiculous. I like being ridiculous. It's just, if people don't get me, right? They usually get their ass kicked. That's just the way it goes. So, love my hat. I love my hat. Right? California. And my bracelets. So I'll bring it up close. It's not real, but it's really cute. Like, this is real beach cute, right? Just to get away from the office and hit the beach. So I'll show you up close. This here is, you can't really see it, but it's kind of violet, burgundy. And there's a beautiful message on here. And it has a bird. It has a bird. See the bird right there? It has a beautiful message. It says, give hope. Give hope and encouraging words when you meet people. You know, the incident with Big Lot still bothers me, because the things they said and did to me was so beneath me, you know. But this is when I found this bracelet, right? To remind me, right, you know, to not stoop to these individuals' level, right? So this one, it says give hope. And when I saw it, Echo Town, I was like, that's me. And that's like my recurrent theme recently. You know, just give your time, right? Just give yourself me time. You do not owe anything to anything else in life or anybody else, right? Being away from Facebook, you know, I love it. I love it. I would never go back. So I love this. When I saw it, I was like, that's me. And this is Besito 101's time asking to go out. Cito, be quiet. Go to sleep. So when I saw this, I was like, that's me. Right? Cito, you asking 100 times to go out. I'm going to let you out one more time, and then you're going to go in. What? How many times do you have to ask to go out? Hey! Ooh, you dare hiss at me, huh? She's hissed at me. You know why? The last time she did that, she was pregnant. And before this, she was doing her mating call. She acted like that. Go outside. Go outside and play. Don't you dare hiss at me. Go outside and play. Don't you dare hiss at me. Hey! Don't you dare hiss at me, Cito. Go outside and play. You hiss at me and there's going to be trouble. Where did you learn how to do that? Go with it. Don't hiss at me. Respect me. Go outside and play. You hiss at me, I spray you with water. Yeah, she hissed at me. She did that prior, and the only reason why she did it, to protect her babies. And recently she was doing, and she's still doing, you know how like a lot of people are like, I wonder if my cat's pregnant, right? And they're checking after the fact. No, it's what they did beforehand. If your cat is doing that mating call, okay, they're looking to get pregnant, right? And that is exactly what she did beforehand when she got pregnant. Cats know they're pregnant and they're very like, she just did it to me right now. But I understand that, but I don't like that. I do not like that because, I love fajitas and um, I don't want her doing that, hissing at me. So, anyways, she's been asking to go out a lot too. It's in and out, in and out. And sometimes when she's out a long time, and that's another thing. So, this is at this point, this is where I need to start thinking, right? If she's pregnant again, to spay her. And it's not because, I believe there's overpopulation, but Santa Ana, they only allow 4 cats to six, 4 dogs to 6 kittens, right? So I think this is a good time for me to spay her and just make plans, as far as if she has more babies to sell them out or adopt them out, stuff like that. So yes, um, I was touching base on recently um, how I enjoy just giving myself me time, right? The heck with all these other people. And a lot of that, what I'm trying to say is that when even the temporary time that I worked for Securitas, they try to suck me in where I didn't have time to school. I didn't have time to apply self-care to myself, nothing. And that's not good. That's not good. I saw a reality show where a female doctor, she made it to be an ER surgeon. And then when she realized the lifestyle and that she would never have time, right, to have a puppy, right? She would never have time to have kids. She would never really have time to hang around, date, and hang around with her husband. Guess what? She walked out at the end of her shift. She said, "No, this isn't me." And I'm very much like that. I'm very much like that. I don't mind giving my best in school and work, right? I have proof from records that, when I attempt to do something, I sell really well. But does that mean that our life is wrapped around living for other people? No, no. So that was like a common theme recently where I would see stuff like this. And I was like, that's really me. I think what I'm trying to say, and I want everybody to take time out and pause. Don't forget you. I think we're so concerned about all these other people, what they think, what they're going to say, what are they going to do. Well, how about you? And, recently I've just spent a lot of time by myself and just, why I like this is not a material thing, but just discovering what I like. This is the way I like to dress. It's, you're not going to find it in fashion magazine. It's just the way I like to dress. And I like that. So I got this necklace and I love the message because it reminded me, in life, there are people that give shit, right? So that's why I bought it. Plus, I bought it because, recently the incident of birds just kind of dropping out of the sky, that's very unfortunate and sad. Now more than ever, our world needs hope, right? We need words of encouragement to breathe life back into people. Would we all not agree that? And this necklace here, or this bracelet here, um, I bought it just because it balanced the burgundy, right? And here's one thing I want to emphasize off um, the books, okay? You don't have to have a reason for everything. There's a saying in life, just live life, love life. You don't need to have a reason behind everything. So I got this one because it balanced the burgundy. And this one, I just felt it really pulled all this together. And it's really me, right, with the hat, just casual, right, enjoying the beach, which one of my friends a while back uh, took me to Newport Beach. And it was actually very nice. Just, you know, just having small conversations about whatever and eating some 7-Eleven hot dogs and just, enjoying the Newport, like a different scene from where I'm at. I loved it. So I got the hat. I love it. I'm not going to take it off. And I got this. I love it. um, so unless I want to give away my Betsyville purse tomorrow, I'm going to have to come up with a purse that matches with this. And I do have other purses. I have 5. So, I have 3 wallets, right, women? we live, we live in our wallets. We need this. We need this. Let's see what else did I get. I don't remember what I got. I guess these are the last 2 items. And I don't want to put the bags on because they're going to play with it and make a lot of noise. So I just put it under the table for now. So these are my last 2 items. And I love them. I told you guys, if you make a wardrobe, make sure you love it. You're right. Because then you'll have a wardrobe of whatever, or worst case, a wardrobe that doesn't even work for you. So this, I love it. It is very me. They're basically spandex, and it's very me, right? My nickname is Stars. I love, the preppy, like schoolgirl plaid, like, but like more like country and a little bit of couture. And then here, it's got just little flowers. Love it, right? It's very neat, right? You know, and it was $3. Right? It's very me. That's why other people didn't take it. So I love it. And how I see it, as long as I'm not, I don't run out of clothes and I'm subjected to walk around naked. You know how like we ran out of toilet papers? Imagine if we ran out of clothes during the pandemic, which for a while we did go through. I'm happy with this, right? I love it. As to what brand name, whatever, I don't care. It's very me. And I decided, remember I told you everything has to link together like a necklace, a really good necklace. So I bought it with these army pants. So these are really beautiful army pants, size 13. And it's very me. I told you I'm grunge. I like to wear stuff that a dude likes too. So these are just army pants. And they are size 13, my size. So I'm a little bit 12, 14 right now because the lockdown, not being able to go to the gym. Plus, I have a gym membership at LA Fitness and I haven't been going. Plus, I'm getting older. So I'm more like a 13. I would say the lowest is 12 and then the biggest right now is 14, which is better than when I was my fattest, which was more like a 16. I was 170 pounds, close to 30 pounds, 200. So my moral of my story is that's why I joined personal training. Don't let yourself go, folks. Let other idiots in your life go, right? That are not going to contribute to being your best. And that's what I told my boyfriend today. You know, because I think there's a part of him who's still upset because, you know, my first sexual experience, I was raped by a skinhead. But I told my boyfriend, I said, it doesn't matter because he is the God saves the best for last, right? And that's my boyfriend. You know, and I fully give myself to him, not the skinhead or any other men. And I hope that brings him, you know, some kind of consolidation over the whole incident, right? And skinheads. Because we all know there's no such thing as white supremacy. That's just a joke. White is a light. Anyways, I love these pants. They're army pants, but they added details to make it a little bit more, right, feminine. Like the rip right here and here, knees, and here on this side, right? It's very grunge. And then I think that's it. You see the back. Huh? I love this, you guys. Can you see the pocket? How it's got a little to kind of make, you know, your butt better. I love it. And then it stretches, right? So like this, it'll probably go to a 13, 14. That's what's going to happen next month for Thanksgiving, right? You eat your turkey and you kind of look like a turkey. Yep. That's all I bought today. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy. So the moral of the story for me and everybody, sorry to disappoint other sorry people, right? Who try to ruin people's day and life. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's called rebounding, right? Coming back. And believe you me, I'm going to come back fighting harder. And I'm going to help everyone. So that was my day. And then tomorrow, I need to get more. I need to trade out some dry kibbles that I got from Food for Less for pâtés. So before I was saying Big Lots, it's not Big Lots, it's Food for Less. They have their own signature brand, and you can get 10 cans for $4, right? Because I know some people struggle with feeding their pets, and they're on a budget and they want the best. So that's where I'm going. And then another thing, this is why you need to write all this down on schedule, right? So you can keep, so you can succeed. Without a schedule, right? Most people succeed in life because they have a schedule. Another thing that I have to do is to trade out something at Ross for some. I was gonna look for some earrings to match with these stuff. That's it. Like a lot of my sister's boyfriend said, at least one of them, he said that I'm a very simple person, right? And, little things make me happy. That's right. That is a very good analysis of me. That's why when I meet individuals, right, that make a big deal out of nothing, they really irk me. Because I'm thinking, what the fuck are we talking about here? Right? So I'm at Big Lots, right? And I want to see if my Gmail has been updated and, right, my number, right, which I now changed. And so they're not going to get that, or my business. Because it's not what you're going to do to an individual that really hurts them, is what more so is not what you're not going to do for them. Just imagine if God took away our ability to breathe, right? This whole coronavirus pandemic would be void. Okay? Please, anybody out there, forget who's in control. That's God. So those are some of the good things that happened to me today. And then with my extra money, I bought babies, more pâtés from Vons. I love Vons. And I wrote a good review for them. And the only thing that is challenging is their app. Apparently, I thought it was because they wouldn't take my prepaid card, because I do want to be a member with Vons for $12.99 because all the benefits, them delivering the food, right? Coupons that don't expire, right? Catered customer service, getting points and getting freebies, gifts on your birthday. I was like, I want this. But their app is not responding. And apparently, they said that they contacted corporate and still like that. I had no idea. And then today, um, it kind of started to kick in, maybe because Vaughn's is liked by so many people. They said that I got 2 points. Um, this is part of their way of promoting their store. So 1 point was for 2 cans of cat food. I think it was called Wet Outdoor something. Um, and I selected that, and then 1 can of tuna. Because I was like, mosquitoes and her babies, right? But in the midst of the process, when I went to the store, first and foremost, they didn't have the wet food. So there was nothing there free for me. So I thought, well, I'll just get a free can of tuna because, cats like tuna. And then when I looked on the app, I couldn't find that. So the app is definitely going through something. I don't think it is because it's the bad app. Vaughn's is probably the best place to go shopping for food. Is probably overwhelmed by people because it does have a lot of good benefits. And even if you didn't do the yearly membership of $99 or month to month, right? You can't afford $99 like right here and now. Just the fact that you open an account, they give you free items like that. And then as you shop, you'll build up, right, to 2 points and 3 and 4 and so 4 and 5 and so on. So other than getting food for the babies, I really wanted to get their Vaughn's free ice cream, gallon of free ice cream for 2 points. Because Vaughn's, I have to say, they have really good ice cream. And I know that's a challenge for people who are diabetic like me. But I have to say Vaughn's ice cream is very good. Just, take your metformin, right, folks? Test your blood, portion control, and also I take this, like, because it's supposed to lower blood pressure, right? And if you are diabetic and you might have, foot issues, this helps because it lowers the blood pressure and helps blood flow, right? So you don't have like that diabetic feet. But more so, this protects you from damages from diabetes. Okay? So that's about it. Another wonderful thing that happened today was YouTube is my primary social media, but I have to say they work with T-Mobile. And I found out today, just to show you how hillbilly I am, not just by the looks. I found out today after the fact, millions of other people, that Redbox has an app. I've been offered like a lot of movies, right, through T-Mobile and YouTube, and it's called cross-selling and, different businesses trying to connect. But I was like, why do I need Redbox, right? Because I got Netflix. But, that kind of mentality only shortchanges you. So today I was like, let me look into this. And in comparison to Netflix, right, and YouTube, right, and all these other apps with live TV and cable movies, right? And now Peacock. One of my friends told me Peacock, and there's other free, like Tubi TV and stuff like that. So I said, let me look into this, right? Because my primary social outlet now is YouTube. So I was like, I didn't even know Redbox had an app. So I opened it, and I was like, wow, this hillbilly's impressed. I just saw some trailers, and being like, I'm an artist, right? The cinematography on the Redbox app, nice. The sound, it felt like you were in the theater, nice. And then they give you a lot of freebies, right? And today is I got a free movie, so I'm gonna watch something, right? It's nice on your phone. What's really nice is what I want to present in terms of studying business. It solves a lot of customers' problem, right? So one of the reviews, and for YouTube might want to incorporate this in their customer surveys. A lot of complaints with Redbox is they will like, hey, I have that movie in mind I want to see, right? But then when you actually go to the place, the movie, like everybody checked it out, right? So this app recognized that that's a problem. So you'll choose a movie, and the app will tell you if the nearest location to you has it or not. And if it doesn't, it tells you where else to go. I love it. I don't know about you. I love not only smart people, I love people that are resolved. They look at the solution and everything versus problem. Like everything is a problem. I can't stand those kind of people. Personalities. I loved it. And the Redbox app, unlike Peacock, which is a little bit strange. I mean, yeah, they gave me free Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the app, it was like all apps are different. Right? All apps are apps, but they're different, just like cars. And the Peacock, honestly, it gave me like free, like Leatherface that I want to finish watching and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But as far as like the platform, I thought it was kind of strange manipulating the platform. The Peacock, photo at the beginning, I thought it was beautiful. But then I felt the app ruined it when on the profile they put like a cartoon peacock, and I felt it just ruined the whole vibe that I thought it was. So, my friend, the security guard in this area, CJ, told me about it, but I'm not gonna stay on it. And I told my boyfriend, yeah, it's not a good app. We'll just stick to my primary YouTube with T-Mobile. Right? On my account, I get free Netflix. That's it. I mean, how many movies can you end up watching, right? But I had a good day, and those were some of the reasons. Vaughn's, Redbox, right? These nice stuff at Echo. And so the hat that my friend Daniel Herrera got me, um, I'm going to sell it out tomorrow because I prefer this one better. It's nice and cottony, and that's one thing, you guys, on relationship to where's my hat? Here it is. Okay, let me reiterate. We live in a sad world that, everything is calculated based on sales, right? If you look at these two hats, right, they look similar, right? But guess what? Adidas, right? Adidas sells more than Billabong. Why? There is no reason why. It's just Adidas sells more, right? And personally, I like this one. I like it. See? Because it's comfortable. I like the picture better. It's Billabong in California. I told my friend Daniel Herrera, I was joking around with him because he's, Marine, fought in the Vietnam War. I said, doesn't that look to you like Vietnam? Like, you think you're in the waters and these are like the little boats in Vietnam and the Lotus, which they're not. If you look closer, it's like birds in the sky, right? But I was joking around with Daniel Herrera. And I do value people and friendship, but I don't put up with, my men, um, you know, sexualizing things with me. I find it very not sexy and a turn off. It's like, like you're having, girls, you just want to have a decent conversation or connection with men, and all of a sudden they turn it and they sexualize it, right? So that's why I'm selling this out to Plato's, because I don't really see anything in it, and also to prove to myself, right? Because some men, I hate to say it, they don't get it. They don't get it that they're not going to get it. Right? That I don't sell myself out. Simple. So I'm going to sell this out, and I'm pretty sure Plato's Closet, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, we really want that, right? Right? $2, $1, $3, whatever, they can have it. So those are some of the things that was good today. And Pepsi, zero sugar, Jerry, yum. I bought those because I was going to buy some movie popcorns to watch my movie. But instead I got some salami, just to make some sandwiches, simple sandwiches, mayonnaise. And then I got them some more litter because, now that I have besitos and a baby, it's literally like the Brady Bunch. when they need to go to the bathroom. They're all in there in the little box. And I have the extra large from Target, so they all fit in there. But it's like everybody wants to poop. It's like fighting for the restroom. I gotta poop. For Are you done yet? Right? So, but I saw something funny on YouTube today. Uh, and an hour already. Time flies by fast when you're having fun, right, folks? It's not worth getting upset. It's just going to weaken your immune system towards this coronavirus, right? But I saw something funny on YouTube about a lady, how she rescued a possum, right? And recently, there's been a possum coming in my backyard, right? So if you guys don't know a lot about possums, right, they're created by God, right? And their job, right, is essentially to eat, you know, what my cats don't eat, right? They're like scavengers. And as far as the stereotype of them having any kind of diseases, it was never brought up in the article. As far as posing a threat or a nuisance, right? Or you needing to kill them, not brought up in the article. So I saw a cute YouTube today where a lady rescued an injured possum, and that their relationship, where she said she gave the possum an opportunity to leave, and he didn't want to. Right? And the story changed the perspective on possums. That possums could be possibly pets. And I think he's out there because I hear the bowls moving. So let me see if I can take a photo of him. Speaking of the possum, I hear something clanging in the backyard. I'm gonna try to see if I can take a photo of him for you guys. Zero in, zero in. Yes, speaking of the possum, that was him. So essentially, they're harmless. They are, let me turn off the light back there. And now I'm cold again. So essentially, possums are harmless, right? Um, the purpose of possums, they're scavengers. So essentially, they clean up, right? Um, Leftover food and stuff. Just say they're like a vacuum cleaner. They love to eat what other people don't eat. right? They don't like to see things go to waste. They're not a pest, right? They're not a problem. Um, and according to my Google article today, because I wanted to know more about possums, um, they said essentially possums, their way of defending themselves. I'm going to remove the bag because they're going to make a lot of noise. The way possums defend themselves is playing dead, right? And they spend the rest of their day, like all of us, just being lazy and sleeping, right? So ask yourself this: would you want somebody, right, to view as a pest, as something that needs to be just exterminated, right? And that's why God has this golden saying, right? Do unto others as you would want to be treated. So ask yourself, the way you treat other people and animals and things, would you do that to yourself? So I'm going to throw this bag in the restroom, close the door, because they're going to make a lot of noise. So I'm going to show you a picture of the possum. Besito went chasing him, so I hope she doesn't hurt him. This is Mr. Possum. And as you can see, he is not posing a threat. Okay? People need to get, right, this picture out of their head, right? And yes, I do not see him as a problem. He helps finish the cat food that I place out there that Fat Boys doesn't finish. I do not see that as a problem at all. There needs to be more things in the world like possums. If people were like possums, this world would not be so, wasteful, wasting away. But yeah, I'm hoping Besitos doesn't hurt him. But what I was going to say is there is also a raccoon that comes sometimes too, because, people under lockdown, animals come out. I do not see that as a problem. That's the way the world should have been. But I'm going to tell you this raccoon. It's very sad. He comes about, right? And he was, right, eating the cat food. And I turn on the light and I take a photo. And when he was done eating, he turned around and he saw me, inside the kitchen staring at him. And, I kind of looked at him like, it's okay. You can eat it. Because nobody wants it. He's not hurting anybody. But I could tell you this, when he turned around and looked at me, his eyes are no different than you or mine. Right? Eyes are the window to the soul. Everything is special. Everyone is special to God. Maybe not to one idiot in life, but to God, everyone is special. And the raccoon, when I looked at his eyes looks like mine and everybody else. But what I saw broke my heart. he had his hands like this, kind of like his body language was like, did I do something wrong? And I kind of looked at him like, it's okay. It's okay. I don't mind him eating the food. But his hands are like, how you're like, did I do something wrong? Your body language. I kind of just stood there and stared at him like, it's okay. I don't mind. You know, there should be food to share with, right, to go around. So to slow the story down, to show you guys how very, very sad our society is, we both stared at each other in our eyes. And, you know, I looked in his eyes and I said, his eyes are no different than mine and anybody else. And he kind of stared at me like, did I do something wrong? And his body language, right? You know how you're like, don't hit me, right? And I stood there, and I just kind of let him know, I don't mind. I do not. Whatever food I have, I share with everybody. So he kind of, was in the backyard kind of staring at me, and I was staring at him, and his body language, right? This is going to break your heart. I took a closer look at his hand. He was missing. I didn't notice it because he was going like this. When I looked, his hands was missing. And then I understood why he thought he was in trouble. Somebody why? Because the raccoon just wanted something to eat, it's hungry? Because somebody decided to hurt his hands and remove it? When I see things like that, I'm very sickened, I'm very saddened, I'm stained. Stained. I have to remind myself, I can't provide the solution to everything. None of us can. This world needs a lot of saving. And I pray for the animals. Because deep down in my heart, I know who is the real animals. And it's not them. So yes. There's a thought that just came into my head, and I know it's God. Because there are moments I do go off into the deep end. And there was like a thought. And God's telling me that even though this raccoon, right, in heaven, the Bible says that we're going to have new body, spiritual bodies. And that is what I look forward to. This world is going to blow up to oblivion. I'm not fixated about life here on earth anymore. I've pretty much given up. I fixate on eternal life. I look forward to the day when God resurrects the dead, when God does the impossible to heal people, when God remembers this raccoon and gives him a spiritual hand in life. So essentially that's what I'm here for, and that's why I came back. So let's dive into my latest and greatest paper. I will read it off of, of course I can't go on my Google Docs right now. So I read it off of what I sent to my boyfriend. He's my study buddy and my partner in life that I will love forever and ever and ever. I'm very proud of him. Alrighty, so this is for Abnormal Psychology 250. It's late at night, and it's for Professor Ricardo Castillo. I like him as my teacher for psychology because he doesn't make psychology about him as a person. It is a discussion board, chapter 10, on alcohol use. There's 27 responses. Discussion, chapter 10, alcohol use, critical thinking, page 268 on SimGauge. And Sorego is where you're going to find me posting the green stuff, right, in pictures. So both of these programs are offered to me to study abnormal psychology, okay? So you're going to review the critical thinking, page 268. So this is the game, my art of being smart. This is where you figure out what the game plan is, right? Before you start running off into left field, right? So review the critical thinking on page 268 on society and alcohol usage. Do you think the college environment plays a role in alcohol usage? And if you haven't done a lot of researching or you're biased, right? So in terms of what the book says, everyone drinks, okay? Is why I responded. I do think college environment plays a role in alcohol usage. Example, spring break parties, right? Heavily portrays binge drinking, especially here on YouTube. Have you ever experienced any of these pressures to drink? Okay, so this is where I was trying to piece together the paper, and it's really exciting. Think of it like my Italian necklace, right? Where they're trying to come up with like a new piece of of you know refined uh, Italian jewelry is exciting, right? And then it went on to asking, have you ever experienced any of these pressures to drink, right? And everyone drinks, okay? So based on what the book said, is a little bit of what the book says. It's a little bit of what I said, and it's a little bit of whatever I needed to extract off of Google or YouTube, right? I said I have experienced this pressure usually at weddings and or parties in the Vietnamese community. This is their culture, like many other cultures, has this Vietnamese name, which, by the way, it's Nhau. Okay, it's Nhau. That means like happy hours. I'm sure in different cultures they got their word for it. It's sometimes to celebrate a marriage, other times to deal with despairs of life. Poverty, like Native Indian, a lack of employment, and social culture leads people to drink, right? Alcohol advertising marketing, all right? In terms of that, it says alcohol consumption is prevalent usually, my response. Alcohol consumption is prevalent usually before big sports events. There are major advertisements with sexy girls and food to encourage usually men to binge drinking. And women are part of this ever-growing trend too. Example, right? Because I learned off of my research paper to come up with your unique example and then key terms to explain in your own words. So these are the little golden nuggets if you want to impress your professor and get all points on your paper, right? You're going to want to know that. Angel Stadium, Anaheim, okay? Media glamorization messages, right? Always healthy models with no liver cirrhosis, with no outbreaks on their skin are used. This is commonly used not only at majors game, but the best example, Hooters, where women serve beer to customers and a little bit more, right? It's a vicious cycle and very planned propaganda of the Corona beer favorable to the Corona pandemic, right? Examples, celebrities and stars, right? We want to drink that alcohol, right? That celebrities or the stars drink. It is pervasive to specific populations that can easily be targeted to make ongoing profit. So you guys gonna want to know what pervasive means, right? And I'll explain that. Perhaps this is the Western world culture that is alluring to the countries, the Americans of the land of freedom, my channel, where basically is legalized alcohol binging with drug abuse is lucrative to college, targeting college student and underage. What is happening right now? What kind of prevention strategies could be implemented? In terms of alcohol advertising and marketing, I will interject long time ago in history, cigarettes, right? They paid doctors to literally lie that cigarettes were not carcinogenic and that nothing bad would happen and you would not die from cigarettes, right? And that's not true. And of course, till this day, they're going to do the same with alcohol. So you need to be aware of this propaganda. Majority of Americans, adults, consume alcohol only occasionally or not at all. And that's from my book. So this, right, in terms of a chain, this is primarily me with the book, with whatever relevant thing off of Google, off of YouTube, or anything else that's relevant. School library. Alcohol poisoning is serious and sometimes deadly consequence drinking large amounts of alcohol in a short period of time. Drinking too much too quickly can affect your breathing. Okay, that is what we're all trying to do. You know, I'm chuckling because you know the song, Another Day. Just breathe. How can you? With this virus, with pollution, with this. Easier said than done, right, folks? But just know with God, He'll back you up with the Bible. Nothing is impossible with God. And I will be here to keep on giving you guys hope as my bracelet that I wear as a promise and a pledge. Drinking too much to affect your breathing, compounded by drugs, heart rate, body temperature, and gag reflex. That's why, people who drink a lot, they're like, ugh, and potentially lead to coma and death. And this is according to the Mayo Clinic. This time I used the Mayo Clinic, okay? Because you want to add variations, right? Whereas my research paper, I randomly use a bunch of stuff. Here I stuck Mayo. It's nice to have, something different, right? And then I wanted to touch base to fill in the blank for Orange County Sheriff Barnes. So here, I'm going to fill in the blanks for Orange County Sheriff Barnes. The made in China carfentanil or elephant tranquilizer, breathing is slowed and signals to the brain to breathe is completely disrupted. Now, at this point in my discussion board, I could have provided more information to support that. But to be on point and not lose, right? The professor didn't require it, right? And it's a discussion board of 100 words. You don't want to go in and turn in a dissertation. If you guys don't know what a dissertation is, it is what PhDs have to write, essentially a book. So a discussion board is not that. Okay, it is not a dissertation. You need to be on point, on target. Breathing is slowed and completely disrupted. Media glamorization and messaging. Efforts to prevent, this is the book, efforts to prevent alcohol abuse stress personal and societal risk of excess alcohol consumption, the risk of underage drinking. These messages receive only minimal attention. Why? Because it doesn't sell. It goes back to that sorry theme. So don't feel bad, if the world might reject you. Because God's saying that's a good thing. And I went on to saying profit over people. Each time, and this is off of Google, your liver is injured, whether by disease, excessive alcohol consumption, or another cause, it tries to repair itself. In the process, scar tissues form. As cirrhosis progresses, more and more scar tissues form, making it difficult for the liver to function. And decompensated cirrhosis. Advanced cirrhosis is life-threatening. And this too is from the Mayo Clinic. And here, folks, key terms, right? Really helps you stay on point with your paper. What does pervasive mean? Well, according to my Google search, pervasive is an adjective, right? Pervasive is an adjective, especially of an unwelcome influence or physical effect, like the coronavirus. Spreading widely throughout an area or group of people. Global. An example, ageism is pervasive and entrenched in our society. Synonyms. I want you to pay attention to the synonym, and I will stop at one. Okay? Prevalent, penetrating. Okay? There is a direct correlation between alcohol and forced rape. Okay? Pervading, permeating, extensive, ubiquitous, omnipresent, present, everywhere, rife, widespread, general, common, universal, pandemic. That's the word. Why am I pausing there at that word? Coronavirus pandemic. Pervasive. Means the same thing to my article. That's critical thinking for you guys. Epidemic. You guys don't know the difference between epidemic and pandemic, right? Epidemic means it's isolated to one country. Like right now, we're in the cold and flu season. Pandemic means it's crossing countries. I'm trying to pray here that God gives me the perfect words for this in a very, let's just say, not so perfect situation that we're in. If this coronavirus pandemic is like cigarettes, folks, right? There's more money to be made in helping people stop smoking. Pervasive. Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna vaccination, and the projections of long-term issues. If you're not dead from this coronavirus pandemic, they said that it will create other diseases in your body. All I have to say, the devil, right? The devil. The dollar makes people do things. Okay? endemic, inescapable, insidious, imminent, permeative, suffusive, permanent. Origin: the mid-18th century, from Latin pervas, P-E-R-V-A-S. What does it mean? Pass through. Gain of function: they made it mutatable to humans. And multiply. And where it stops, nobody seems to know. God knows everything. Pass through, from the verb pervidere plus IV, translate pervasive, to choose. Now, I want to challenge you guys something. Don't back off right now, and me too. I'm going to do what I preach. Back off from the big neon lights, right? Flashing big words, Hollywood. I want you guys to start looking at the fine writing. So here is, it can translate pervasive, and all it says is choose a language. African, Arabic, but they're not all the language. And I'll tell you why. I think these are the targeted demographics in relation to this article and that of Oxford. Because this is off of Oxford Languages, right? So it is translated, this article, to Africans, Arabic, Bangla, Bosnian, Latin, Bulgarian, Catalan, Chinese, Simplified, Croatian, Czech, Danish, Dutch, Estonian, Faroese, Finnish, French, German, Greek, Hebrew, Hindu, Hungarian, Icelandic, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Kiswahili, Korean, Latvian, Lithuanian, Malay, Latin, Maltese, Norwegian, Bokmal, Persian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Syrian, Cyrillic, Slavic, my people, Slovenians, Spanish, Swedish, Tamil, Thai, Turkish, Ukraine, Urdu, Vietnamese, and Welsh. Now I'm going to extend on the context. I used to study from a linguist books. And let's just say there have been languages that have died off the planet. Okay? Now, as to whether that civilization actually died off, no. It's just it's other language took over, right? But there are some correlations to alcohol and said mention countries, right? Vietnamese is brought up, Spanish, right? Modelo, right? German beer. The information regarding the potential dangers of alcohol, the effects of alcohol, along with other substances on the brain, are most profound through the mid-20s. That is from my book. From my personal experience as a patient, that is when mental disorders kick in, when people are in their 20s, right? So there is a need for professional focus on addiction prevention, and college years are a very high risk period. Um, Not for me though, because I am an adult learner. I can see like for kids, and um, I will read in the end. I found out that there are some kids in my class, like that are actually, I think they're part of the high school program, right? They haven't even reached 18, which I think is really adorable. Um, and it's also said there's a genetic risk of developing alcoholism, tends to drink the most, right? And my conclusion, alcohol binging is permeating and creating many problems in our society, from date rapes at college campuses associated with binging and that of vehicular manslaughter, DUI. And usually my professor has been giving me full points because imagine me and him are like bear claws on a necklace, right? Nice, right? I anchor what he prompts, right? And I grab a hold of it and I don't let go and I stay on point. Push comes to such shove, right? So usually at the end, he always put important note. And that's when I put in a YouTube, right? So I'm giving credit to YouTube, a YouTube video in relationship to the Google article or anything I found in the library. Because in my opinion, I disagree that YouTube is not peer reviewed. I would challenge that. What does it mean when it's not peer reviewed? That means that it's not fact based or it hasn't been reviewed or approved, right? That's not true for all YouTube videos. You can't say that. Like I said before, and you don't need to be very clever to understand that simple concept. Unless you have provided the complete, right, of anything, the complete data set, as in statistics and probability, you cannot come to a conclusion. You can't. Because it will be biased because it's based on partial information or erroneous information. YouTube is very credible and has more integrity than Facebook would ever have, right? Which, by the way, did you guys hear the article on Google that he plans to change his name of Facebook to like The Verge or something? All I thought when I read that article on Google, I was like, on the verge of what? The verge of the app, Facebook app crashing, right? As predicted, like caving in, avalanche on the inside. The verge. It's like, oh, I'm on the verge of a breakdown. So I put the YouTube, and I will put it here, where in Santa Ana, at least 4 was killed in a suspected DUI crash. ABC 7, YouTube, right? And then as usual, a lot of repetition because it reinforces, right? So he said this is the initial post is due no later than Canvas due today before midnight. Read and respond to at least 2 of your classmates, which my classmates pretty much never respond to mine. Read and respond to at least two of your classmates' posts by debating, agreeing, providing evidence, etc., using examples, and citing information from the course content, which I go above and beyond that. Because, my days of being fixated on the professor, like pleasing the professors or gaining points, is so over. Right now, as a mature adult learner, I just want to get the point, right? And um, just make the most out of the program. And unfortunately, like I've learned through Santa Ana College, the school has potential, but then, you have a class like mine is like most classes, where, we're told to respond to two people, right? So this is what they do. They will, like some persons in class, like they will never respond to them, which is why I respond, right? Because it's a class. And, other persons, right, they might have like 10 people responding. So usually I don't respond to those people because they already have people. And, there's a saying, and I will write it on my annotation. For people like that in my class, there's a saying, just because you went to school doesn't mean you have any class to you. Think about that. Think about that when you play the exclusion game, right? Especially in an educational setting. Um, to me, is ill productive. Right? And then this is something you need to pay attention to so that you can pace yourself and actually enjoy education and not feel like you're suffering in school. That's old school thinking, right? I want you guys to get it out of your head. I'm here to refresh that. And it says your two responses are due actually not today, but 2 days after the posting due date. Okay, that's good. Because, a lot of students, they function on panic mode, right? And once you pay cue to everything he's prompted, then you won't be in such a panic. So the assignment was due today at midnight, which is how you should do your schedule, but the responses, right, are due 2 days after, which I have been trained to just go in and do it then and there because retention is usually 15 minutes. In my mind, I can do that. I was going to give credits to also Canvas, my app, my college app, because as far as time management, I have been increasing, right, in the tests, right, because usually, now with Securitas, I told them to hit the curve, right? I have time to study, but I always try to see, like, how can I do it a little bit smarter the next time, right? So usually when I do the Cengage tests, I apply statistics and probability because I'm thinking, given the time frame, right? If I'm going to start, I'm going to hit the ones that has a lot of points first. I'm going to grab them, right? And then once you run out of time, if you ever run out of time, which if you have a schedule, that wouldn't happen, right? Then, the lowest point assignments at the bottom, right? So once you get that all figured out in your head, guess what? You can tackle anything. That's my message. That is my art of being smart. And, I really promote people to be separate and apart from the rest of everybody else, because based on a bell curve, the average thinking in society is capped off at a C, right? So who cares? Who cares? I love sharing all this with you guys and reinforcing it for myself, because it's so, right? It's a great contribution to YouTube and everything else, right? So with that said, an hour and 56 minutes, remind you guys to have your sleep. Don't let any stupid individual make you lose sleep over things. Sleeping for the most part helps you in school to crystallize what you just learned, whereas not sleeping, right? Just imagine it this way, folks. Your mind, right? It's like baking a cake, right? You need to go to sleep, let your brain cool down, and let everything you learn crystallize. So you have like several types of, right? You have crystallized memories, things you have to remember, like on tests and stuff, and you have fluid. Information is going about all the time, but you don't have to remember it. So you could just right? Like, you met somebody and you say, hi, my name is Noah. And then later, I'm like, bye. I don't have to know that on the test, right? So when you sleep and you sleep on it, you let your mind de-stress and crystallize for all the things that you're not supposed to know in school become solidified, right? Right? And have a beautiful mind. Because I honestly believe a beautiful mind is cannot be wasted. Our world, as I learned in my first English class with Rita Mitzner, she was the one who's bumping me up to English honors. Our world is a compilation of smart, stupid, brain dead, all of the above, right? But that's what's also what makes all of us going to come together. Think of it this way. It'll last a minute. Piece of puzzle, right? Right? I hope that I filled in some, right, for you guys as YouTube, right? They're the missing puzzle for some of the stuff I need, right? But we need all of our knowledge put together to complete the picture, the grand picture, all right? So with that said, at an hour and 59 minutes, just want to give credit to YouTube, my main platform, and to thank everybody for being here. It truly is an honor. I thank my subscribers, and I encourage everyone else to also subscribe to my channel, and I welcome them to share my live streams, which I feel and I hope they get better and better on YouTube. And that's the whole basis of why we are here on YouTube, right? As a community.